WideSide Sports. Welcome into the program, everybody. It's a holiday edition, special, whatever you want to call it. It's a Thursday.
Santa Claus coming to town. He already came to town.
He already came all over everybody.
Yeah.
That guy.
Too much. Too much.
So I have this conversation every year, like, of how many people's houses is he shitting in? Or is he just dumping over the edge? Just dropping it on people?
Well, I got both. I have both images in my head, and dumping it over the edge is a funnier image. But I just imagine, when you sit down, it's 2-3 in the morning. You've been working your ass off all night.
Yeah.
He fell asleep on at least one of those toilets.
Yeah.
At least took a snooze.
It's woke up.
Yes. Oh fuck. Wipe my ass and get out of there. Yeah. How many Santa suits do you think he has? I know you don't call them Santa suits, he just calls them suits.
Yeah.
But you think he's when you get in his closet and there's I think of the American Psycho where he's got all of them aligned, it's all the same suit in a row. Is that how his closet is? Well, because
you got to look at weather.
Yeah.
And but I think his game day fit.
Uh-huh.
Because you're going to like this. Because obviously you get the cold states.
Yep.
And this is a lot of...
Yeah.
Hawaii and stuff.
Yeah.
It ain't cold
sleeveless?
Out. Well, I think he wears the new tech that was new tech back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Where his pants zip off at the knees to make them shorts.
Perfect.
And his sleeves zip off to make it, show his guns a little bit.
Yeah.
So Santa's in a tank top.
Mm-hmm.
And
Shorts. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then takes stocking cap off, puts a trucker hat on.
Yeah.
With a little ball that comes off the top.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like that image.
Yeah.
Hawaii Santa. Yeah.
Sweating my nuts off.
Yeah. I had
Why is this velvet or whatever? I assume it's velvet. I don't know. It's what it's always looked like.
I stopped at a gas station on Christmas Eve to grab a couple drinks, and I paid, and I said, "Hey," I said thanks, and the Indian fellow behind the counter told me Merry Christmas, and I was not expecting him to say Merry Christmas, and obviously, I said it back, and I was just like, you think he actually celebrates Christmas, or does he just practice the holidays because he when in Rome,
What God?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he didn't have to be Muslim, but
well, they're not.
Even if he's Hindu, or
there you go.
Yeah,
Ganesh.
Yeah,
being the.
Mm-hmm. But that was already celebrated.
Was it? I don't know when they do that.
It's early December. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just assume he was just trying to be nice, but it just kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting it. I just thanks, you're welcome. Have a nice night.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. No, he spoke pretty good. He didn't really have that thick of an accent.
That's weird. Well, then he's got the gas business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have, those thoughts about the whole, because you see a lot of it, the whole Santa Claus thing, and people that take it way too far of you're damaging your child,
yeah,
having uncles and stuff that call and act like they're Santa Claus of hey, you are,
we would
you're
never,
really getting.
No, we'd never take it that far. It's funny. I play Santa a couple times a year for some people, and I did it at a
Not
wedding.
anymore, the way you're looking, pal.
Well, I did it at it was like a craft show kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And they had a little Santa, and I was kids come up and take pictures, whatever.
Yeah.
And so Molly brought the two boys, and they're a couple people are like, are they gonna recognize you? Is this gonna be okay? They are so deathly afraid of Santa Claus. They're not even gonna come near me. And they did the loop. They waved. Jackson told me what he wanted for Christmas, and then it just was on. There was no stoppage. There was no picture taken or anything like that. I want nothing to do with this guy. I just want him to bring me gifts. That's all I want.
Would have been funny if in front of the other kids they would have ran up and been like, Dad.
Oh God, yeah.
I guess you're Mrs. Claus now.
Yeah.
And we've been doing some fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was, it's funny.
I was watching an interview with Tim Allen talking about because the
original script
he shot Santa Claus.
Santa Claus off
but
the
then
roof.
him asking him nobody pays it so Santa Claus, I killed Santa Claus.
Yes,
even with the ladder thing, I killed him. And he's like, what happened to Mrs. Claus? Because after the third one or second one, whatever it was, that you have to have a Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
What happened to that one? Did they just shoot her?
She died.
And feed her to the reindeer? I mean, like, what happened to her?
He brought up a lot of good points because there is a big hole in that, huge hole in that story. Because I always thought the same thing. And now as a kid, when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, like Santa died. And then we have a new Santa.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, but then that makes you start thinking, like, how many times has he been trying to deliver presents to fucking Afghanistan?
Yeah.
And just like, somebody with a fucking land air missile. Bam! Got him.
No, but in the third. Got that one out of the way there. But in the third Santa Claus, when Jack Frost tries to take it, he goes back to his regular old life as like the a-hole toy maker guy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if whatever that Santa did beforehand, if he just went back to like selling cars.
Well, because his point too was like, did the elves want that Santa to die? Because there were elves everywhere.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about like, they show all the ones of like earlier in the day, there was elves of like, you guys
set this
somebody
up?
put a hit on that Santa? This son of a bitch making me do all this work. We'll take him out.
Yeah, the other question is, like, does Santa vacate? Like, does he vacation somewhere for like a month? Like after it's done and over with?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Like Antigua.
Mm-hmm.
Or Belize.
I always like to picture like Santa like Santa like drops the weight and like puts it back on for the winter.
Like, well, they do that like for John Hamm.
Yeah.
Where he's on vacation. He's like,
yeah. So like, you know what I mean? He got his summer body ready, and then puts everything back on to get in character.
Because that is a funny one in that movie of like he just starts getting fat.
Yeah.
Like you're not healthy.
Wearing pajamas.
That is a funny thing. That's a legit question of like, do you just go back to your life?
Yeah.
So like, for the rest of the year of like, do the elves what are they doing?
Yeah.
Is it like a rager?
Mm-hmm.
Like having sex parties and stuff?
That's how they I assume there's a ton of elves.
It's over. Who wants to do some body shots?
Have you talked to your brother since Tuesday or Wednesday? No, Tuesday.
Well, I got some text messages on Tuesday.
Did you get the same text? The same text I got?
When he sent the text to me, it was a little bit. I was doing something, and then when I looked at it, I was like, "Hey, you need to send that to Seth."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I already did."
He sent me the picture, and I just, when he sent me the video, I couldn't stop laughing. I just couldn't stop laughing. I didn't even know what to say. That's what I told him. I don't even know what to say to that one. I didn't assume that was his job when he sent me the first picture. I was like, maybe like water boy or just like.
But how's he going to squirt it in their mouth?
Well, I don't know.
So you got like a stool?
He just hands out cups on the sideline. I don't know. Yeah.
A little ladder.
A little ladder. I made like equipment, maybe, helmet brakes. He can, use his, like, I got a couple of screwdrivers that he could use, the little nut ones. Yeah.
Yeah. When he said, yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay. That was pretty good giggle. I didn't know if he sent those to you or not. Oh, that was funny. Yeah,
that was a good day.
It was funny. Yeah,
so, I was wondering where you were going with that. I'm like, oh, I know what it's. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I thought those were funny. No, I saw a couple people that I know were at the bowl game too.
Yeah,
they said it was like, and I don't know how Sean went with the tickets. Or whatever. I'm assuming his daughter, did she get tickets as a student there?
I don't know,
but they were like $6.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I'd have known that, I might have to take the 2-hour drive up to Ford Field and watch that. college football, you know?
Day after Christmas.
Yeah.
It's in Detroit. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
it's a nice stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's ever been there, I haven't talked to Sean since. But everybody's always told me it's been very nice. A buddy of mine puked on a guy up there at a Lions game.
Nice. Luke goes up there like to watch the Packers and the Lions play.
Yeah.
And he said it's really nice up there. Yeah, it's really nice. They kind of got like their own like Patriots thing going on up there. He said like there's a bunch of stuff like around it, so you feel a little safer.
They've done a pretty good job. The city's gotten better.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, don't go to some areas.
Yeah.
But that's there's areas in this town.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Is it really that bad down there? I don't go there.
I don't know. I don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell.
Seems like the news is always saying something. Do you know them people?
Yeah.
pushing their narrative about the shootings. I'll never forget that with this town. Like we were on that little clip of, it's always one of the, like we were like top 10 dangerous, but it's always violent crime.
Yeah.
Per 100,000. But it's like, well, we don't have 100,000.
Yeah.
So the numbers get skewed. But I remember, obviously they always track shootings.
Yeah.
Of like, it's like, well, we've eclipsed last year's total of shootings. We're now 2 ahead of last year's total.
Yeah.
And it was like fucking April.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we are in for a year.
We're way ahead of schedule. So a few years ago, my wife and I bought her brother tickets to a Patriots game. He was a big Tom Brady fan.
Yeah.
It was ended up being his last year in New England. And so we bought him tickets, and she drove them. I had a game that night. She drove them up to, her and her mom drove her brothers, both brothers up to New England or whatever. Well, on the way up, they stopped in a hotel and stayed, and they were going to drive the rest of the way the next day. And they stopped, and her mom, I guess, is like freaking out, like, we're in this place, like, this is probably the most dangerous city in America. Why'd you stop? I would have drove the rest of the way, all this and this and that. She's like, it's fine, like, it's just a hotel. It's not that bad or whatever. Yeah, they stopped in Hartford, Connecticut. It's the #1 most dangerous city in America.
A lot going on in Hartford.
She looked it up. She's like, oh, no, yeah, it is. It's #1. You're right. It is the most dangerous. She's like, my mom didn't sleep that night. She slept on top of the covers on a blanket she brought. And I'm like, oh, my God.
That just reminds me of like it would have been the Family Guy when they're like, it's as bad as Bridgeport, Connecticut. And he's like, here come dear Family Guy bastards. Yeah. I'll have you know Bridgeport leads the country in broken windows, gas stations without pumps.
Yeah. The only time I ever felt non-safe in a hotel is I never liked the outside door.
The motel.
I hate it like that.
The open to the parking lot.
Yes, like that always bugged me.
Yeah.
And I remember we were driving to Florida one time, and we stopped somewhere like I want to say like in close to Tennessee, still in Virginia.
Yeah.
Or whatever that is right there. And I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. Something about this just does not sit right. I might have just been 16, so it's not like any of us were really capable of, driving while my mom took a nap or something. I was like, we kind of have to stay. But I remember just like you could hear everything. It's a motel. It's not like the walls are real good. You can hear everything. You can hear everything outside. You can hear people walk by the doors and everything. It's like, man, this just does not feel right. I just don't like this right now.
Yeah.
And I woke up and my mom is sleeping on the floor against the door.
Oh.
And this is like 2 or 3 in the morning. And I was like, Mom, what are you doing? She's like, I don't feel safe either. Just go back to sleep. It's like, good luck. Okay. Thanks. Like, you weigh 150 pounds. I think if they want in, they're going to move you.
Your alarm to run will be when I go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, there's like 6 of us in that room. We might have stood a chance.
I stayed in one time. We were down at the PGA show. We used to buy all the golf bags and stuff. That's why we always had 9 billion golf bags out there at the golf course. And we had a U-Haul, so we're driving them back. So you get a motel so you can park it right so you can kind of keep an eye on your shit.
Uh-huh.
And we just got past Atlanta, and we were like, it was get this motel of like, we're going to be here for like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sleep, wake up. nothing happened,
Yeah.
anything. But it's like, wake up in the morning, go to take a shower. They got the shelf of towels. There was no towels.
Oh.
They were all those like fucking floor mats. Like they just grabbed a stack and thought they were towels and put them on. They were like, just a pad bigger than a washcloth. I'm like, what the fuck? And obviously it's like you just smear the water off. It doesn't really take. It's like,
dry it.
All right, well, let's go shake this on outside.
Oh, yeah.
That the one trip we took was a motel south side of Chicago. And Tom was like, hey, got your room? Obviously I have a filthy habit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got your smoking room. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want a smoking room.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you don't? Oh, you can smoke inside. I'm like, yeah, so is everybody else. Like, it smells like everybody else is smoking here.
Yeah.
I don't want to,
Yeah, exactly.
Why the fuck would I want to stay in a smoking room?
Yeah.
That was the other one. Is we were in Fargo, and he was like, hey, I booked you a room that overlooks the pool. I'm like, it's an indoor pool. It's Fargo, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like, why? So that my room smells like. So you give me a smoker's room,
and it smells like
and
chlorine.
Then one that smells like chlorine with a bunch of children fucking scream. It's not.
Thanks.
It's not like a nude beach that you like. Oh, I thought you'd like to maybe sit on the balcony and jerk off. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what was the thought process there?
Yeah.
This is a business trip.
Yeah. The one we stayed in Cincinnati. We were flying out of their airport, so I always call it's the Cincinnati airport in Kentucky. But staying in that one, staying in a hotel there, and it's like 1 or 2 in the morning. We were flying out at like 6 or 7 or something like that. We got down to Cincinnati at 1 or 2 in the morning. Another friend is absolutely hammered off his ass because he's never flown before, so he was real nervous. And he's like, I want to be relaxed. And I'm like, well, you're going to be hungover on an airplane, so that's not smart, but go ahead and keep drinking. And it's like, we get there, and he's a mouthy drunk.
Oh.
Anyway, and we're going into this hotel room. And let's just say the 4 of us stuck out like a sore thumb compared to everybody else in this hotel.
Okay.
And of course, he has to start saying things. Like, it's like, oh my God, dude. Like, just be quiet. Go up to the room. And of course, we're in the elevator. And he's just like going on and on and on and on. And we finally get him up to the hotel room. He goes, I'm going to finish this 6-pack or whatever. I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. It was like 4 a.m. He finally is out of the shower. We hear him. He's in bed. And we wake up at 6. It's like none of us felt comfortable being there in the first place, but you're making it worse by being drunk and mouthy at the same time.
Yeah, those are the...
Dude, it was funny on the plane. It was luckily the way there, nobody was on the plane. So, he's 6'7". He gets spread out a little bit. He also was doing like Jack and Cokes to try to like calm his nerves. Again, first time flying.
Yeah.
Like halfway it's like an hour flight or an hour and a half flight or something like that. And he has to shit.
Oh, man.
He's got nerves. He's nervous and he's drinking and he's got to shit. He's like, what do I do? I'm like, well, just go shit in the bathroom. I'm like, whatever. So he goes in there.
Oh, my God. He's 6'7".
Yeah. In a airplane bathroom. He goes in there. He's in there forever. Comes back out. Everything's good. I feel better. It's like, good. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I can't remember. It's been a while now. Pretty sure there was a sign that said, like, no pooping. Like, I'm almost positive there was some kind of sign because I remember having to pee and going back there and pee and seeing this sign back there because it's just like an hour and a half flight. Like, I don't think they would have like dumped it anywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh yeah, but it's just super fucking funny. Like, he was so nervous, and then 6'7". It was end up sitting by himself, but I think on the way back, I think he was packed in. We were packed in tight on the way back, but God, it was just funny because he was nervous. He likes to drive anyway.
Yeah.
But when we were getting down there, we were like boating to an island, so it made no sense for anybody to drive down there. Yeah, just funny.
That is one of those things of like, I can't wrap my head around people that are scared to fly.
Yeah.
That get that, because just logically it doesn't make sense to me of like,
Yeah.
it's like the safest thing
Yeah,
to do.
exactly. You should
Like,
fly.
Well, there was this plane crash of like, one.
Yeah.
In like fucking 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's pretty wreck every fucking day within a mile from your home.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, like Molly, I wouldn't say she freaks out, but she'll take like the Dramamine, put her headphones
like
in.
a little more motion sickness kind of thing.
I think so. Cause
like I get that. Some people.
She will ride. We drove down to Myrtle Beach one time for vacation, and she rode in the back seat the whole time. Like she didn't want, because she's like, I'll get car sick. I'm like, well, this will be a fun trip.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Yeah.
Like, and I know a lot of people that are that way. Like they can't. Like if they're not the one driving, like they can't be.
Yeah. Yeah. Now when we went down for our honeymoon, she did okay. She sat. I mean, I was like, please don't sit in the back. Like this would be a long ass ride if you fall asleep in the back and I'm driving this whole fucking way. But yeah, it was funny. Yeah, but a lot of people. Now I like to fly. I've only flown like 4 times, but I like it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
not bad. I like to take off. Now I get the stomach because I'm a heights guy. The heights kind of freak me out, so I don't look out. I don't really care to look out the window.
Oh,
to take off, I find it cool, but other than that, I'm okay.
I like to just sit there and think about, okay, well, if it does go down, what do we do?
Die.
Put your head forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like on Tommy Boy. He goes,
yeah.
I ain't really going to go over an ocean. If anything, we're going to hit a mountain. That's I love that movie. It came up yesterday because I obviously have some younger kids that work for me now, and they have heard of
none of the good movies.
They have not never heard of Kingpin.
Jesus.
They've never heard of Tommy Boy because that came up yesterday. But my favorite part of that, obviously they're in Sandusky.
Yeah,
and like her parents are at the whatever falls. I can't remember what it is where her parents moved to out of Sandusky, still in Ohio.
Yeah.
And like she goes to the airport, she's like, Cuyahoga Falls.
Yeah.
It's in Sandusky.
Yeah.
Cuyahoga, Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah.
That river's not that long.
Yeah.
So I need one ticket to Cuyahoga Falls. It's like a 45-minute drive. What are you fucking talking about? And like, first of all, what airport in Sandusky?
Yeah.
Fucking, did you drive to Cleveland to get on an airport? And then we go, what do you, like, you just go down the road and hang a right. You're there. Pretty sure it was Cuyahoga. But it was something falls, but I think it was Cuyahoga. Of like,
yeah.
Because I remember seeing that the first time going like,
that's not.
Even if they were in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to fly to Cincinnati?
Uh-huh.
Like, what the fuck?
I got a cousin who flew to Chicago.
Yeah.
From Cincinnati or Cleveland or Columbus or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like a 45-minute flight. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that would be. He's like, it felt like we were up and down.
That's what I mean, I've flown through Chicago I don't know how many times because if you're going anywhere west, you're going through Chicago. That's just kind of the way it is. But it's like, dip, dip, you know. That's why I always wish, like, people that live near Toledo where they just take a train to Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but I don't want to drive to Toledo to take
a train. I always thought it'd be cool to take the train too. Because I can't imagine it. One, I've never done the train thing. Two, it's like, it'd be something different. I wonder, you know how long it is?
I don't know. I don't know how long does it take to drive to Chicago. I've only
about 6 hours, I think. Close to it.
Probably that. It's that or a little slower.
5
it's not
to 6 because of that time change. So, I mean, whatever it is, you know.
Because it's not a terrible drive to Chicago. I hate to drive to Chicago, but like the train, I would take a train there.
Yeah.
If it's a 6-hour drive or a 5-hour drive, and it was a 6 or 7-hour train trip, I would take the train.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. Like, I don't mind driving, but I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I prefer to be chauffeured.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to drive.
But
I like to drive. But no, I mean, I have no problem doing the other things as well.
Because that cool one always, because it's the, like, Chicago to Seattle train trip where it's pretty cool and stuff. But I think that's like it's like 6 days or 5. I mean, it's days.
Days. That'd be too much on a train.
But then you get in those time frames because our country doesn't have the rail set up for actual passenger rail because you have to share it with like grain cars.
Yeah.
And it's like Well, if you go during harvest time, like you can get fucking sidelined and stuff like, hey, we're gonna sit here for an hour while this fucking train comes by, and then like, okay, no, I'm not doing that because it's living where we live. It's always been that high speed rails coming from Columbus to Chicago. You can be in Chicago in 40 minutes. So like, okay, I don't feel like you can build that.
Nope, not a monorail.
There's a lot of shit between here and there.
Yeah, I have been on like the. They call it the monorail. I've been on one of those in Disney. I don't know if that counts. Just takes you around all the parks.
More of a tram. Than
takes you around all the parks.
You get on one when you fly into Orlando.
Yeah. Yep.
Except I remember seeing videos of like when that shuttle or whatever that is, monorail there, broke down and people had to walk it. And just like, coming out of the northern states down there and it's like 85 degrees in Orlando and just fucking sweat pouring off of people as they're walking like a half mile. Yeah.
That is, when you get into like the southern states and everything like that, and you first like walk outside, it's like, oh man, I forgot about, we thought we were humid up in Ohio.
Well, like that's such a huge thing for like this next week's for like Miami, win these two games, beat Baltimore or Buffalo or Kansas City coming to Miami in January. Hey, it's 90 degrees out and humid.
Yeah.
Good luck. You've been in 40-degree weather. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I've never like flying wise, like the first flight I ever took, I think I told you about that before. The guy I'm sitting next to, he's like, you ever flown before? And I'm like, no. And he's like, on takeoff, he's like, yeah, we're turning right. I'm like, yeah, I can feel it. Yeah. Also, I can see it out the window that, boy, it looks like we're rolling to the right.
Yeah. Now, like, I always hear people like, oh, like the asshole who claps when we land. Like, I've never had to deal with any of that. But it is absolutely incredible how people don't understand how lines work when you.
Oh my God.
When you land and you get off. It's like, it's not that hard, guys. It's the row in front of you goes first.
Yeah.
And if you want to have the debate between the row across from me, hey, no, you go ahead and go first. That's fine.
And it's the first person's decision.
Yeah.
And it's just a hand gesture.
Yeah, go ahead. But the fucking people all the way back, just fucking sit down.
Yeah.
Wait your turn.
Everybody just stands up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like this extra 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You've been on the plane for 3 hours. You can't stand for
that's the other one. When it happens like flying from Ohio to Florida.
Yeah.
It's fucking an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the deal?
Couldn't sit still
like,
for
you can't.
5 minutes. Yeah.
I came back from Florida one time where it was there wasn't anybody on the plane. It was like a red eye flight. And I'd been drunk for like 12 days straight. And I get on this flight, dude. There is it was one of those ones where, like, they needed the bigger airplane back in Ohio, so they just put us on that one. Everybody had a row to themselves.
Oh yeah.
We take off, and I just fucking laid down and slept for like 2 hours, and then the flight attendant woke me up, and I put my seatbelt on. We landed.
Nice.
I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Is this how flying's supposed to be?
This is great.
Just,
perfect.
It's like my own private flight on a fucking 757 or whatever they are. I don't know planes.
I don't either.
I don't plan on buying one, so I don't know anything about it. Now, fighter jets, I know how to fly those.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case something happens.
I always I like to watch a lot of survival shows just in case.
Just in case.
I've never been to the woods by myself, but just in case. It's my favorite things. Like the survival shows of like just guys watch them of like,
yeah.
Hey, you can make a knife out of this and make a fire out of that. And if you need to kill this is how you got it. And that's how it's like, what do you,
yeah.
What do you need? All right. I'm going to watch Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
So, because I need to know how to identify a venomous snake in Africa.
Yeah.
Because I'll be spending a lot of time there.
The ones that get me, it's like, if I was ever in a situation, one, I would probably die within, I don't know, day or two. Because if I had to eat like some of the vegetation,
I would
just
pick the wrong thing.
Yeah, I'd probably pick the wrong
this
berry.
Looks good.
Yeah, that looks like a blueberry.
I go through life just assuming all mushrooms are poisonous.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't eat. I don't even like mushrooms.
No.
Normal ones. I'm not gonna eat those ones. Yeah, but like just like the if there's like a plant with like some berries on it, it's like I'll risk it.
Yeah, that's one of those things that'll be like that's why I keep the girth that I keep on me.
Yeah.
In case I get lost, I can go a good fucking 6 weeks without eating and be fine. You just gotta find water. I know how to find water.
Yeah, you can find water. You can start a fire. I'm not an idiot.
So I used to love this one show. Like they'd just give you 3 scenarios and you had to try to guess what happened. And it's always like Lost in the Wilderness stuff. And like, they tell each scenario and like one guy got lost in like a state park.
Yeah. Near
a river. Then another lady got lost with her kids wherever. And then another person got lost in a woods. And like one of them got like got the shits or just drank bad water.
Yeah.
The other one, got out pretty easily, and the other one died.
Yeah.
Well, because it was always like, well, you should just hunker down, and then like somebody will find you. It's like, well, you're in the fucking woods, so maybe not.
Maybe probably
unless you told somebody where exactly you were going to be.
Uh-huh.
But the guy that like got lost and he found the river, and then once he got close to the river, he just set up camp and then waited there for 2 weeks for somebody to find him, and he died.
Oh shit!
It was like
and
then the person's like, well, like if you find water, like running water, just walk with it downstream, and you're going to run into a fucking town.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is like the United States. Because it wasn't like it was in like the fucking jungle.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
This was like upstate New York. Of like, hey, if there's running water that looks like a river, just keep walking.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be there. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You walk across the whole state of New York in like 2 days. I mean, what the fuck are you doing?
There was we did something similar like that in school. It was like working on like inferencing skills and like like cause and effect and stuff like that. Well, like they would give you the effect, and like you like the kids were supposed to like come up with a cause, and you could come up with whatever you wanted. And I don't know, they weren't answering one day, and we're going through this, and like one of the effects was it was like Susie fell off her bike, and she got hit by a car. And like the teacher starts rolling, and she's like, "Yeah, that would work."
Okay.
A kid who doesn't talk at all raises his hand. He goes, "I had the same thing." I was like, "Oh god." Okay. All right.
Like, she got attacked by a rabid rabbit.
Yeah.
And a squirrel that teamed up in a tag team action.
It's like, okay, yeah. See, if somebody else has dark humor.
Which there are some funny videos of people like kids riding a bike and like some fucking squirrel jumps out of a tree and I mean, I love that when animals attack,
or like
when funny animals attack.
Well, I sent you that TikTok about the snake at the doorbell.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. Fuck that, burn the house down.
I'm like, I guess
I did not notice that.
Think about it. Like, how often are you checking your surroundings when you go to walk in your door?
I mean, I make sure, like, I look.
Do you?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you checking for attackers?
No. No, I'm not checking for attackers. You
just reach for my, like at my house, I just reach for the door handle.
I always look.
Huh.
I don't know why.
Well, I mean, like I get like I guess I look too because I have to unlock it, but it's not like I'm looking around to see if there's something above me.
No, but I'm pretty fucking sure you'd notice a snake standing there, wouldn't you?
Would you?
I would.
I mean, you probably walk by them all the time and not notice them.
Don't tell me that.
They're stealthy.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah. 100% there's one in this room.
Oh, no. I'll burn it down.
It's like, what do they say? It's like, you're never more than 6 feet away from a spider.
Yeah, that's
like,
okay.
Okay.
Spiders are spiders. That's
What's
fine.
that supposed to mean?
Yeah, spiders are fine. Kill that thing.
Well,
I killed many snake in my day, too. Gardeners.
Quite good at the snake killing. Snake killing job. I don't know if I've ever killed a snake.
Really?
No, I play with them. Just one. It's not really a snake. It's a worm.
Yeah. Oh, man. What a good show we're talking about right now.
This is fucking great. Ain't nobody listening to this shit anymore.
I'm having fun. I haven't talked to you in a week. I'm having a good time.
I always like that of where fears come from.
Yeah.
Like for shit like that. Like, why are you scared of snakes?
Yeah.
Like,
Why am I afraid of snakes?
Have you ever had a bad experience with a snake?
Never had a bad experience once with a snake.
You know, it's
actually,
just one of those.
I've only had probably good experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as snakes go, like I remember being a kid and being not afraid of them. Like at the zoo, like they always had one you could go like touch.
Yeah.
And I always touched it, you know, and never was afraid of it. And then couldn't tell you what it was, but I can remember going to the FFA convention in high school. Me and a guy that we both know, good friends with, and they had like a python there, and like he picks up the python and is like holding it in his hands, and I'm like, I didn't like that. So like I would assume, you know, then or like whatever beforehand, but you know, anytime I saw one, I think maybe my mom too, like she's pretty afraid of snakes as well, and so like, you know, feeding off that, and then like if we ever saw one anywhere near our home, we went on a hunt. So she gets them weirdly weird at our house. I don't know if it's the crawl space because it's not there's no basement or anything. It's not slab. There's like that 4-foot crawl space.
Yeah,
and you can see them sometimes. And there's one particular spot like at our house where they get in and out, and they're always there. At least in the spring, a couple of them, and I know I've killed at least 3 there. Just in this little like you can just see the back end of them, and you can just get a spade in there. Yeah, cut it in half. And I know I've gotten a couple of them.
You would enjoy, like when we blow out irrigation system.
Oh God,
there's one valve box that only gets opened in the spring and then opened in the fall when we
blow them out,
blow them back out.
Yeah,
and it kind of sits down in the floodplain, and it's always wet, and it's always, and it's just a valve box. It's 14 inches by 12 inches.
Yeah,
open it up every year. There's at least 15 snakes in there.
Really?
It's like an Indiana Jones kind of like
thing,
just
like
everywhere.
Gross.
Yeah. You just reach in there and pull them out. Throw them in a bucket.
No.
Yeah, but it's every year.
Yeah, I get that. I wouldn't do it. Like I would. I can vividly remember one of the first summers I lived here. It is just pouring down rain, and I see a good sized one in the driveway, and I run out and just stomp on it. Like I didn't need to, but it made me feel better.
Needed to be done.
The little like drop off right here.
Yeah.
I go out and walk out here or something, and I go to before we had the steps, so you just kind of hop off there for a while. I remember I go to hop off, and there's one like right at the bottom on the concrete pad, and it's like my worst fear ever. I'm jumping into a snake, and I killed that one too. Yeah.
Nice.
I've only ever seen, I guess, probably one that I would consider like a big snake.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not something we really have. Like I ran over a bunch of, like where I used to, that one golf course, like there actually is rattlesnakes in Ohio, and it's just over by that killdeer.
Yeah.
So there's like one little section that has rattlesnakes. It's kind of weird. But in the fall time, I was kind of going the back way to the town. And like there's just, I don't know, fucking 200 of them out there kind of sunning themselves on trying to get some warmth on the pavement, and just I was like,
good for you.
All right, well, I didn't know they're not big.
No.
But anything to do with rattlesnake wise, everybody's like, "Oh, rattlesnake, they'll kill you." It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like they're pretty non-aggressive. I mean, they rattle that thing to say, "Hey,
get the fuck away from me."
Up.
Yeah. No, I mean, just like having the garden out here and stuff like that. That's probably where I saw the big one, because I made the mistake. I cut down a bunch of trees here, and then I stacked the wood. Behind the garden, and I really fucked up. There was a good one. I mean, it was probably 2 feet long. That's probably the one I would say. And it didn't look like a normal like garter snake, I guess. It had like a design on the back of it, so that really freaked me out. So I made sure I got that one.
Anytime it's a Gucci snake.
Yeah, I did not like it. Did not like it.
It's always like memorizing what, red on black, okay, Jack. Red on yellow, dead fellow.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I know if I'm ever in southern Florida in the Everglades, I'm.
Yep. Oh, I hit one with an oar down in southern Ohio, a copperhead. It was swimming in the water.
Oh, yeah?
And you just see its head popped out and it swam by the boat like fucking
Fuck you.
crap that fucking thing. And I killed it. It went. I mean, I didn't realize that snakes would go belly up like fish do, but it did. It just stopped moving. So I either knocked it out or I killed it. I didn't stay to find out, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
you're really
like
not
them.
scared of snakes. You just like killing snakes. That's what it sounds like. I mean,
That snake was
every
a-
story
yeah, I mean-
goes like, well, this one was out there minding its own business, so I cut its head off.
Yeah, basically.
This one was just swimming, trying to, cool off while it's spending some time near the water with its kids. So I
Yeah.
fucking whacked it with an oar.
Freak me the fuck out. I don't like them. If it doesn't have legs, it should move. I don't know.
They look slimy.
They look gross.
Even though they're not.
They're not slimy
Not
at all.
slimy at
If
all.
anything, it's the opposite. Yeah, I just don't like them.
Yeah, I assume the worst would be if, like, you seen a shed. Of like, oh, fuck. It got rid of its skin. And it's still here.
In the garden out there, you see them sometimes in the spring, but no, that doesn't really bother me. If it was huge, yeah, I'd move. But all right,
I don't think we really have any huge snakes around here
No, I
in
know.
these parts.
yeah, but the one that was in because it had like some babies, and I ended up getting rid of those as well.
I always wonder that of like, this is really weird that, because obviously like everybody that got pythons and stuff and shit like that as pets. And then, the Everglades basically has no small animals anymore because of that. So I assume that people have released them like here.
Yeah.
I assume they just die in the wintertime. That they just can't make it.
Can't make it. Makes sense.
Because it's not like Florida's the only state that
has it.
Have fucking weirdos that want snakes as pets.
Yeah.
And then realize when they get 12 feet long that you can't fucking handle them.
Well, this is how hillbilly, where we come from. I remember a friend of my dad's had a python, and he wanted to invite us over to watch him feed it mice.
Yeah.
I didn't go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go. Maybe it started before I was 16. Because I remember being like, yeah, I don't want to go see that.
Yeah.
I don't really care to see that. Two, weird party we're having. This is the call we get. Hey, you want to come over and watch me feed my snake?
I was weird. I'm pretty sure I could be fucked up too. And I think I told this story before, but I think the people that lived behind us had an alligator.
You have told me that story before?
I'm pretty, because they had like a little concrete thing. And
If I lived in Florida,
I got to check with my brother on that, but I'm pretty sure that's a fucking thing that happened.
If I lived in Florida, I would much rather like wake up and walk out to the pool and see like a croc or a gator in the
gator. You don't want to see
not
a croc.
No, they'll kill me.
They'll fuck you.
Yeah, I'd rather see a gator in the water in the pool than a snake.
Oh, yeah. Gators are bitches. I seen them all. I played a lot of golf down in Florida. Of like, get the fuck away from my ball, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got Chubbs?
Yeah, he took Chubbs' hand.
Got his eye.
Love it.
Changing, obviously, I spent. You're talking about it before we started the show, the hour-long podcast that we did before we started.
Yeah.
You're talking about algorithms.
Yeah.
And then I was on Instagram, and like somehow my algorithm, because what the weird thing about Instagram is like half the shit you see are not, you don't follow those people.
Yeah.
It's just, here's a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I don't know these people, but
yeah.
It was a big, I don't know how, but it was like a lot of like whatever they call them, shorts, or that's YouTube, whatever Instagram color calls their
reels?
videos, reels. A lot of Britney Spears.
Oh, okay.
Like she is
fucked up.
Oh my God. Like you can see it in her eyes.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, I don't know. I've probably seen 15 of them now.
Like the one like where she's like dancing with knives.
Like she tries, like it's just like her trying to sexy dance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she keeps pushing her tits around.
Yeah.
Of like,
she really fell off.
Like, are you going to get them out? Or like,
yeah.
But it's just like, and like there's her eyes.
Yeah.
It's like there's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of like, but it's just like this, of like, it reminds me of like Stewie's like doing a sexy dance kind of like, what are you this?
Doing? Yeah.
But it just showed up and it's like, I keep watching them now. So it keeps, because it's fucking interesting of like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
like, is anybody like maybe they shouldn't have gave your money back? I mean, like, so, I don't know what's going on here, but like, I don't know.
Little, she's fucked up big time.
That is just like, you can't be that famous.
Yeah.
Like when she was 18 or whatever it was.
It'll fuck you
and
up.
she was like, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't be that famous.
Mm-hmm.
She is. I mean, and then obviously, because then when I get on that, I got to go to the comment section because you know there's going to be a fight in there. And it's always like, she going to pull these tits out? And it's like, then it's the, you need to leave her alone and not pick on her. She's had her problems, but Britney's a queen. It's like, all right. Well,
Britney's a queen.
She hadn't wrote a song in 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
So
she's toxic.
Tone that down.
She's toxic.
And still got all the, like, she puts enough skin out there that you can see all the tattoos that were popular. Back in like 2002 or whenever that fucking was, like the tramp stamp location, the fucking the hip bone.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
it's got
like
the
a fucking
bunny on her hip bone.
Time capsule of like, boy, I remember when that was a popular thing, but now it's not. Of like
time capsule of sluttiness.
But yeah, it was just like, but like the dead behind the eyes thing of like, are you like, what are you? Are you? I assume you're on some shit, like of like, but like that's all I can hear is like a Stewie kind of like, ooh
yeah.
I'm like, this is a fucking cartoon, and you just set up a camera and you're doing this dance, and it's not even a dance. You're just kind of
twirling around, gyrating.
Like you were the like the strip club dance, but like you're not good at it.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody's awkward.
Let me rub my stomach and grab my titties.
Yeah.
I'm like, because there's multiples of her doing that. Of like, what is it? Like, are you going to do an OnlyFans? I mean, I might be down for that just for the, just for the, hey, you used to be an icon. Let's see what you got.
The nostalgia of what Britney is.
But yeah, it's just like and now that's all like,
you get now?
Every time like you open it up, it's another, here's Britney Spears. I'm like,
shit.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
Like the reels aren't fucking great anyways.
No.
It's just, the funny stuff doesn't seem to get there.
Yeah. Not on Instagram now.
Yeah. It's like, well, Instagram, it's like everything's got to be so, hey, this is my private jet that I fucking bought after I was collecting fucking pop cans and fucking recycled soda bottles, and now I have a fucking jet. I'm like, all right, well, it seems like you made that up. Here's the book. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
It's way too easy for me to do it, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Buy this for $19.99.
Yeah.
The amount of, I've made so much money doing this that I don't care about money anymore, but I'm not just going to give it away. I'm going to show you how to do it for this fee, and then you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Okay? But you're not one.
Yeah. So you didn't do it.
Yeah, that was I remember one, because there's a girl, her and her husband were hunters from Ohio, and then they moved to Iowa or whatever and got arrested and stuff for poaching.
Nice.
But they into fitness and stuff, and she wrote a book, and it was like, hers was like how to get 1 million followers on, Instagram without showing your butthole. Like, yeah, it's kind of a funny title.
Yeah.
She didn't have 1 million followers.
Yeah.
She had like 500,000 followers. Like, well, you can't name it.
You can't do that.
You can't name it how to get 1 million followers if you don't have it.
And we see your butthole.
Yeah. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Like, it is just a bunch of like, here's me doing squats.
Yeah. That's your butthole.
Here's me doing squats again.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Then I don't know what they do on Facebook anymore. I think it's the same thing. Same reel kind of thing.
Don't they own the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook, I say, is just older.
Yeah.
More. The YouTube shorts are like, because I'll post some stuff like on the short side of like, you can't get any.
Yeah.
Like, nobody sees them.
It's
like, what are these hashtags for if you can't?
Yeah, I can't get anybody to look at it.
Like the one that I told you about earlier, got like 1,000 or whatever people saw it on Instagram. On YouTube, it was like 7 of like All right.
All right.
Well, maybe you're.
Yeah. Maybe this isn't working.
Maybe this ain't working out. I mean, at least on TikTok, like they're gonna forward it to some people. Like people are gonna see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
It's just not. It's not working for us. But we'll be selling bottle caps soon.
Hey, I know we haven't talked much about football, but our two teams really shit the bed this weekend.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All the excitement that we had, it's gone.
Yeah. I knew mine was happening because I knew that they couldn't be like that. So many people talking about Jake Browning and stuff. It's like, hey, like if you guys, this just a bunch of people haven't watched a game, like their defense is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And like first play.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay.
And then it's that, the fourth, fifth game of a backup is when shit starts going of like, okay, you're just throwing picks everywhere. You're throwing, the first one, I think he was trying to throw it away, but just threw it to the guy.
Threw right to him.
Well, the sidelines.
Right there.
You were 2 feet away from it. You could have just
thrown it there.
Flipped it there.
Yep.
Of like, I knew they couldn't beat Pittsburgh. Now yours on the other hand.
My team was handed to us on a silver platter. Patriots, Chargers, Raiders to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Couldn't beat the Patriots.
And everything that you needed to happen happened.
Oh, yeah. Everybody lost.
Chiefs get beat.
Yep.
You, at the point of, you could have still won the fucking division.
Yeah. If they would have beaten New England, the Chiefs losing on Monday.
Yeah.
We're now one game back.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
That was, first off, I got to say, the fact that the guy hits the upright like 4 inches away from the microphone, like that was fucking.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But to also lose on a last second field goal when the guy's already missed a field goal, missed an extra point of like, that's just an extra.
How about the fact you get the ball back with 1:40 and you go 3 and out?
Yeah.
What the hell? You should have won. I mean, you should have went into overtime.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, should have went into overtime. They got down whatever they had to. They fucked up. They fumbled right out of the half and they got the ball back on the 2. Okay, yeah, you got down again, and then whatever else happened. But it's like, what the hell? You had the ball back. You played well. The fourth, end of the third, fourth quarter, you played great. Came back, tied it up. You had the ball with 1:40. Lost.
Yeah.
On the last second field goal. That's the problem that bothered me. Because it's not new. It's still the NFL. You can lose it fucking, the Raiders. The Raiders beat the Chiefs in the quarterback threw for 62 yards. Okay? You can still lose games when teams aren't supposed to, lose games. But still, it's like, Jesus Christ, you had the ball, 1:40, and you went 3 and out.
Well, that was one, too, of like talking about like even the Patriots, because people, they only say, oh, they were 3-10 or whatever that was. And I've seen something where people do those stats of like 1-score games. If you flipped everybody's 1-score game, the ones that they won by 1 score, they lost, and the ones that they lost, they won. Patriots would be like 10-3.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah.
Like they're not a good. Like they just don't have offense, but their fucking defense can play.
Yeah, solid.
Like they're
solid.
And it's still Bill. Like people act like Bill Belichick can't fucking like he's not even trying. It's like, well, now you're pissed at him because he fucking won. So now you're 1 draft spot down.
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was cool. Well, and that's the other thing. We talked about it for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Of, hey, they always seem to win a game by 3 points. They take points. They don't go for it. First quarter, go for it on 4th down. Don't get it. Lose by 3.
I for sure thought they were going to kick the field goal. Like we watched it at Christmas, and they're like, "Oh, you should go for it." I was like, "We haven't been. We've been kicking the field goal at that point in time and winning games." And I get it.
Then everybody will say, well, that was the right call to go for it because you put them in this position. It's like, yeah, but you ended up losing on the last second field goal and you just gave away points.
Yeah.
Like, take points.
And
it's first quarter.
And the play call on 4th down, I actually really liked it. Russ should have kept it. It was a read option.
Yeah.
All he had, and the defensive end sucked in as hard as anybody because it's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to do. Anyway, he's getting benched. We're playing the backup.
That is a fucking... I feel so bad for you because you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
At minimum 1 year, probably 2.
Both years. Yeah.
Now, I mean, obviously, it just depends on how they cut him because you're only benching him so you can cut him.
Yeah. They're only benching him because
so you don't get hurt.
His injury contract, yeah.
But you still owe him $39 million. But the dead cap, pre-June 1st cut, $80 million dead cap next year.
Mm-hmm.
Post June 1st, it's like $79 million divided over 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like 39 and 40.
I would assume
you do a post. That's kind of how it's done.
Yeah.
But that's a...
Yeah.
Like, I assume you still don't have a pick, do you?
Yeah, we have a
first rounder?
Yeah, we have a draft pick now.
But it's not like it's middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So you have to draft a quarterback, and a quarterback that's you plan on playing because so you can't afford one.
No. I mean, the rumor mill is obviously everybody's rumor mill is Justin Fields, but that's whatever. Why would you want that?
How are you going to pay him?
Yeah, I mean,
and what you going to trade away another pick?
Yeah,
2 second round because he ain't free.
No, he's not. No, I don't get it.
I mean,
you're going to draft one for sure.
Like it would be okay. Like if they cut him and you could sign him to a min of like, hey, can we just get a running quarterback to get us through a couple years? Okay, because we got all this dead cap that you can't sign any receivers. Everybody that's going to be up for contract is gone.
Yeah,
because you can't. You don't have the money to sign anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just it's like, hey, everybody else gets to spend $220 million. We got to spend $180 for 2 years.
Yeah.
Of like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah. The only positive thing coming out of this whole situation is everybody's under contract skill-wise except for Judy.
Yeah.
He's the only one, and I assume they let him walk anyway.
Yeah.
That's my guess. But like Sutton's under, the other receivers under, all the other receivers are first or second year rookies or second year guys.
Right.
The defense, everybody's locked in still. Surtain's still under his rookie contract. Maybe one of the linebackers, one of those is on a 1 or 2 year deal that may be up. But everybody else has been signed, so it's not awful. But you're not getting anybody to add. That's the only other issue.
That's you have a quarterback problem, and you can't sign which one. Everybody, if a quarterback becomes available, you don't want him because people don't let quarterbacks become available unless it's end of career. He's got like a Tom Brady. He's got 2 years left.
Yep.
But it's and then it goes back. I think J.J. Watt said that on McAfee yesterday of like, hey, all the GMs that said no, we're not interested in Lamar Jackson, like need to be fired.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck? Like half the league doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to. Well, we'd have to give up 2 first-round picks and pay him. Okay, probably the MVP. I mean, and it showed this year that he can throw the ball. Of what we. Nah, we don't want him.
We don't want him. No, it's weird. It's a weird situation. But I mean, everybody had the writing on the wall. He's gone whether we would have made the playoffs or not. My opinion. Maybe he stayed an extra year, but they were still drafting a quarterback this year, no matter what. So I mean, it is what it is. You'll bite the bullet, and
they will have. This is second season.
Yep.
They will have paid him $120 million for what they got, and 3 draft picks.
Yeah.
The funniest one was like, what if they signed Drew Lock?
Yeah, I know. That'd be funny. Honestly,
that's going to be an option.
It's going to be a big option. It is.
We'll trade a 4th round pick to get Drew Lock back.
That's funny. No, I mean it's weird. It's a weird thing, but again, I would not be shocked if the GM was then fired as well.
No,
you don't think so?
Nope.
It's not their GM.
It's a GM they kept. This was all fucking talked about before Sean Payton took this goddamn job.
Yeah.
Of like, I'll give him a year, but if he's not going to be able to run my offense, if he's going to do the goofy shit that he fucking does. Because the ownership had to be okay with. All right.
Yeah. Well, one of the beat writers, and he's kind of a turd for Denver. He put on there. He seems like instead of being like pro Bronco, he seems very pro Russ.
Yeah.
And he put on there. He put a tweet. It said, "When you run unlimited offense, for your quarterback. This is the results that you get. It's like, yeah, but he can't run Sean Payton's offense. That's why it's limited. And then somebody commented on it and basically said that, and he goes, yeah, when he runs Sean Payton's offense, it's not good, but when he does rust things and goes off script, he's fantastic. It's like, that's the point.
Yeah.
He can't run the system that he wants him to run. He has to go off script.
It's very their offense. It's high school offense.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to it.
You can tell.
And he's actually playing okay. I mean, he's only thrown 5 picks or whatever. 8. He's got 20 touch. Yeah. Now, they don't move the ball.
No.
But it's not like...
That's the problem. If there was a capable quarterback, you win. You beat the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah.
You beat the Patriots. Yeah. But it also goes back, you're not in this situation. Yeah, don't get me wrong. This sucks, but you missed a field goal to beat the Raiders week 1. You let the Commanders come back with a 23-point lead. Let them come back and beat you on a last-second field goal.
Yeah.
It's like, those are 2 wins right there.
Well, that's the worst thing that happened for them is when they start out 1-6 or whatever it was, 1-5.
Yeah.
Is they go on that little run. Because if he loses another game, that benching happens then.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, hey, if we lose this game, we're in a bye week.
Yep.
We're done.
Yeah, because they beat the Packers and then went on a bye week. If they lose to the Packers, they go on their bye week. He's benched. Yeah.
But beat the Packers, come back, beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
like, fuck.
There,
I mean,
yep.
Not a lot to do.
No.
Now, the only thing on my team, obviously, I don't expect them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Obviously, that now it's a fucking can't.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess you could, but a lot of shit's got to happen.
Yeah.
But boy, if they just would go into Kansas City this week and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That would just be because, if you want to call that a rivalry or whatever, I guess it has been.
It has been,
the last ones, really the only ones that have been beaten. I think the Chiefs are, 1-4 against the Bengals? I mean, like, you go in with a backup quarterback the way the Chiefs are ready to explode.
Yeah.
And just beat them with a shit defense and a backup quarterback.
I've lost a lot of respect for the Chiefs these last few weeks.
They are fucking bad.
I mean, I had no issue with Patrick Mahomes. I had no issue. I mean, watching the quarterback on Netflix, you kind of like the guy, because he's whatever. It doesn't really do anything wrong, but his whiny ass this last month has just been way too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
Like, okay, when everything, it always is, you show your true character when adversity hits, right? Like, that's like the old saying or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't like when things go wrong.
Like, he very tantrum.
Oh, very baby tantrum like. It's like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you lost to the Bills. Guy was offsides. Whatever. You get beat by the Raiders. You throw 2 pick sixes.
And that fumble.
And the fumble. Okay. Those are, like, why are you throwing a fucking tantrum?
Yeah.
And Kelsey, he's always been a hothead and does stupid shit. Always. So I'm not him throwing his helmet or whatever, but it's like, what the fuck? You guys are supposed to be, everybody wants to talk to you, the Kelsey brother, all this and that. Like, well, what are you doing?
Like, that whole thing of, like, and I get, because you knew it was going to come. Obviously, it's a Taylor Swift thing now of, he's dating Taylor Swift, so can't play football. It's like, well, he's also getting triple covered because they don't have any fucking receivers.
Exactly.
And the stat they gave right at the end of the game, 15 of his completions in that game were behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You don't have any fucking receivers.
Yeah, I have no receivers.
It's not a Patrick problem. Mm-mm. Like, he's not playing great, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks need wide receivers. Like, whatever you want to talk about, Joe Burrow, great quarterback.
Yeah.
He's always had the best wide receivers.
Yeah.
College.
Yeah.
NFL. I mean, it matters.
It matters big time.
Josh Allen sucked. Stephon Diggs, great.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah. They were talking about him being a bust until they got Diggs.
It's like, it doesn't sound like much, but Juju Smith-Schuster caught 10, he'd catch 10-yard passes over the middle. Well, who's fucking doing that now? Nobody. Yeah. The problem with them, and maybe you can say that too with Bieniemy. Hey, the offense is not the fucking same.
Yeah.
Maybe he was calling more than fucking people thought.
Yeah.
Or at least he's a hard-ass coach. Maybe he's keeping people accountable. But you got to look at Veach, the GM, and go, hey, like, no wide receivers? We didn't make, like, DeAndre Hopkins was available. You think he didn't want to play here?
Yeah, exactly.
Odell Beckham was around. I mean, of like,
some of these older,
We just get, just stay
Couple of
cheap.
them.
We don't. Patrick will make up when you start getting in that. Well, we got Kelsey and Patrick will make up for it. Of like, well,
yeah, no.
I mean,
you could Hopkins signed with Tennessee for like 2 years, $17 million.
Yeah.
Can't pay him $9 million a year.
yeah, you couldn't find that.
Yeah, I couldn't find that.
Well, and that's the thing of like, you start watching those film breakdowns of like, they legit have a fucking nickel corner, a safety over top, and a linebacker on Kelsey.
Yeah.
Because they don't think anybody else can catch the fucking ball.
Mm-mm.
That's a problem.
Yeah, big problem.
You're not any good, and your defense is overrated.
Yeah.
Because they are good at getting to the quarterback, but if you're not threatening or have the lead, they don't need to throw.
No, means nothing.
I mean, they got beat by the Raiders, who did not complete a pass
In the fourth quarter.
or the third quarter.
Yeah.
Or the second quarter.
Yeah. He
had 10 completions in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Never completed another pass.
I said there was a stat line on the TV. It was like 12 straight incompletions or something like that. He threw for 62 yards.
Yeah. It was 10 completions for 62 yards in the first quarter, never completed another fucking pass in the game, and beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
Of like, all right, well, your team sucks.
Yeah.
You're just, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not your year.
Yeah.
Gonna make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably a one and done.
Yeah.
Maybe you catch a home game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, well, you're going to catch a home game because nobody else is going to win that.
Uh-huh.
But like, as soon as you go on the road, you're going to get dick stomped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would catch. Ooh, it's tricky now because they're either sitting at 3 and 4. Oh man,
it's a fucking mess with what the Jaguars have done.
Yeah, it is.
And like, they're probably going to lose again this week.
Yeah, because if you're Cleveland, like, you want to lose one because you don't want to have to play the Ravens or the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Is it 2-5 or is it 2-7?
2-7.
2-7. Okay. So if you're the Chiefs, you may play the Browns.
Yeah.
Or if you're the Texans or the Colts,
yeah,
you're playing the Browns because the Browns are pretty much locked in at 5.
Pretty much. Like, they'd have to lose the last 2 weeks.
They'd have to lose a couple games, and then other things would have to happen. But
yeah, it's it's tonight, and they play the Jets. So
yeah, they should probably win that game.
I mean,
yeah, but again, it's you're fuck. I wouldn't want to play the Browns right now.
No,
hot as shit. Now, when they go on the road, they struggle.
They suck,
but still.
But they're also throwing the ball now.
Mm-hmm.
Of like,
yeah,
I don't know who.
I think my favorite thing with Flacco is everybody's talking about, he's throwing up yards and he's throwing touchdowns. He's thrown 8 picks in his starts.
Yeah. Yeah.
In his 3 starts. Throwing 8 picks.
And the funny thing is, they don't give a shit.
No, they don't.
They're just like, no, we
like it.
Us being able to push it down the field, I think we'll make enough plays that it's not a.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of those you write off last week because they didn't have a punter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, just chuck it down the field if they fucking pick it off.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's such a. I like that too. Like, hey, comeback player of the year. He's like, what's that mean? Like, coming back from the.
Yeah, sucking.
Taking my kids to school. I mean, he's like, what did I come back from?
Yeah.
All right. So you'd have the Chiefs at 3 right now.
Mm-hmm. So they would either play the Colts or the Texans right now, as of right now.
Right now, because you'd have what, 2-7.
Where the Bills at? The Bills at 6.
Bills are at 6.
Yeah,
they'd probably play the Bills. And then you'd have the Jaguars hosting the Browns. I think that's how. No,
is it?
I think that's how it goes.
5-4, right?
5-4, yeah.
5-4, yeah, because it was Jags and Chargers last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is funny of like, I assume this is how they do it of like the Bengals are still like they're still ahead of the Steelers. They got fucking blown out twice.
And they don't have any division wins.
None.
Which
like,
is
how
crazy.
Are they still?
Yeah.
Like, and the Texans are ahead of them.
Yeah.
And for the one win, but the Steelers, you get no credit.
It's weird.
Yeah, you guys have a 7% chance of making it.
Yeah.
The Bengals have a 24%.
Basically, we have to, everybody in front of us has to lose out, and we have to win out.
Well, it's basically like the Bengals, if they beat Kansas City, have a 57% chance of making it. Of like, boy, that jumps up heavy.
Yeah.
Because you got the Colts and the Texans and the Jags. Like, somebody, like, you could. The Colts play Vegas this week. and the Texans play Tennessee. The Jaguars play Carolina. So, it feels like it's time for the Colts to kind of bow out of there.
Yeah.
That it's,
Yeah.
And I think Stroud's coming back this
Stroud
week.
plays this week, yeah.
He's been practicing, I think. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, but could you imagine if it sets up this way for Buffalo to go to Kansas City and if they get beat by Kansas City of like, Jesus Christ. Like, what are we fucking doing here,
crazy.
man? Like, can't get over the fucking hump.
Drama.
But like that was a Patrick on the quarterback thing, like the Mahomes thing. After they win that game, that they're talking about who would you rather play? It's like, well, we're like basically we'll beat the fucking Bills if we win, but I kind of want to play the Bengals just because get over the hump of like, man, you got to give it to them for that because the Bills were
exactly.
God, fucking Joe Burrow.
I know.
Even though the Bengals, like they would have made, if Burrow was still there, they'd make the playoffs. Hey, no problem, man. Urination out.
Oh, yeah, we're good now. But no, I mean, Joe Burrow, you beat.
Like, they make the playoffs, but with that defense, it was supposed to be there. Like, this is a year because you're going to lose T. Higgins. You're going to lose, a lot of people because you got to pay Jamar Chase this year. But that defense is so fucking bad.
They are bad. But the way that the playoffs kind of, I mean, if they're in the same situation, they may have a couple more wins.
Yeah.
But it's not like people are lighting it up on the offense. Like Burrow could have made up for the defense being bad. Yeah. I mean, they've still won games with a bad defense and a backup quarterback. So it would have been interesting if he is healthy.
Yeah.
Because to me, I 2 more wins. Like they
probably don't lose to Pittsburgh.
Like they're maybe 9-7 right now. Or were they 7 are they 7-8 right now?
They're 8-7.
8-7. Yeah.
Like technically they could go fucking 10-7 still.
Yes,
if they win these last 2 games.
Yeah. I mean, right now I think they would have 9 or 10 wins. Like they'd be pushing with Cleveland to get that 5th spot. And then again, Burrow just makes up for so much just being good and everything. And you're right. I don't think they lose to Pittsburgh, but 100% when they went into halftime, I was like, don't be shocked if the Bengals come back and make this manageable. And then they throw a pick and then Pittsburgh turns around and scores. Never mind.
Pretty quick.
Yeah,
it was
never mind.
Okay. Like that was one of those things too of being where that was a 4 o'clock or 4:30 game on a Saturday of like kind of, hey, it's a Saturday afternoon of like, I'm excited to watch this game. And then it was like, as soon as they hit a 5-yard slant for an 87-yard touchdown, it was like, all right, well, I got a feeling how this is going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And that those secondary guys are so young because any veteran who reads slant is not still carrying over the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The safety came.
He didn't come downhill.
And he went outside.
Yes.
Of like the guy was running inside.
Like
he
what?
just ran right around you.
Ran right around you.
Like you missed him by 4 yards.
Yeah. I mean, if it's Bates, a 10-yard gain.
Bates, he might not catch it. Like,
I mean,
he was different safeties. Like within his second step was getting his chest caved in.
Yeah.
It was that kind of like, and you just kind of
outside around. Yeah. No, it was. So, I mean, it's just that stuff right there. And again, that sparked some things. And Rudolph, I don't like him. He's a moron and he's not good at football. But he is a different thrower than the other two. He likes to throw the ball down the field.
Right.
So, it opens up Pickens because Pickens runs deep routes. Now, I know he ran a slant and he scored or whatever, but still, like that opens up a whole big game because now he wants to throw the ball down the field. And he's a third-string quarterback. If he throws a pick, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So he's playing loose.
He hadn't been able to get out of that city forever. He's asked to be, and then obviously they let him go, and then nobody else wanted him, so he came back.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's just, it's interesting how it's going to go.
Well, what do we think about tomorrow?
I don't know.
That's a weird fucking, why is it on a Friday?
I know. Sucks.
Like
8 o'clock game. Where the hell is it at? Texas?
Dallas,
yeah. I don't know. Is anybody playing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Did Henderson come out and say he was playing then?
Nobody said they're playing, but nobody said they're not.
Yeah, that's what I...
Like Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't think has said a thing. He hadn't said I'm going to the NFL. He hadn't said if he's playing in the game. Hadn't said that he's not playing in the game.
Yeah, yesterday, Marvin Harrison's status for Cotton Bowl remains unclear.
Yeah. It's like, well, they've been out there. Like, is he practicing?
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Yeah, what is he doing? He's just standing there with his hands in his pocket? It's weird.
Because that was the other one of, like, came out, like, now all the people, because there were some clips of Devin Brown throwing some passes of, like, he's locked in, man. He looks good. It's like he's just throwing a pass. Doesn't look like last time we've seen him, like his downfall as a quarterback is he's not good at throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what.
Yeah, they're like, watch
the hype of
the
like,
one
now we're ready.
The one clip I saw, it was normal routes on air, and it said, watch Devin Brown throw on the run.
Yeah.
I was like,
rolling to his left, kind of throws to a guy that's just standing there.
Yeah, I'm like, you mean anybody? Fuck, I could do that.
Yeah. And I can tell you one thing. It didn't have zip on it.
No.
I mean, it's not like he's got a...
No, I think I might respect him more if he didn't wear 33, too.
That's a tough look.
Tough look.
But, I mean, now, if you're going to do it,
you gotta...
Like, you gotta...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you gotta ball out.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. I mean, like, when Gardner wore 98 for Michigan, guy was good at quarterback. Backed it up.
Well, and that wasn't his choice.
No,
that was the coaching staff doing that of like, why would you do that to your quarterback? Like, because everybody has those specialty numbers. It goes to a guy that made the team and he's fucking plays kickoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the guy that wears the block O for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like a special teamer that's like the four-string running back.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, it is weird. So I don't know how it's going to go. I mean, they could for sure lose to Missouri. I mean, who knows? Yeah. Devin Brown may be absolute shit. You'd want to know now.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, too, of like, how do you... It's shit for Ohio State. It's just such a bad situation of like, it means nothing for them to beat Missouri.
No.
It means everything. Like, Missouri gets this win.
Yeah. That coach...
That might be the biggest win in school history. I don't know that they've...
No.
I don't know who else they've ever beat.
Yeah. And then that coach always likes to yap anyway, so you're going to hear him yapping more.
Now, it would be funny if the... McCord in there, like if everybody decided that they were playing.
Yeah.
And you lose your quarterback and you go out and just beat put up fucking 60
Numbers,
on Missouri.
Yeah.
Of like, and then everybody going, well, what?
Yeah.
Well, why?
My thing with the whole Devin Brown thing, and I know we've said it multiple times on here, if he wasn't good enough to beat out Kyle McCord, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Because the whole time, the whole summer, it was very hinted that him or coaching or whoever thought he was going to win the job.
Yeah.
And then he didn't win the job. So he's done something very much worse than Kyle McCord.
The 3 weeks into the season of like, we're going to play both of them. We just don't know. Of like,
yeah,
buddy, like everybody wanted you to win it. Like they didn't want Kyle McCord.
No.
Like that was like, he just won because
you were sucked.
The only thing he got going for him is he was Marvin Harrison's quarterback in high school.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the only thing he had.
The fact that you enter the transfer portal and you end up at fucking Syracuse.
And so my favorite thing is the people who left.
Yeah.
None of them went anywhere worthy
Fleming went to Penn State.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he was a fifth-year senior.
Yeah.
And he's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And he was highly recruited.
It's the number one
Penn
receiver
State.
in the fucking country.
Yeah. And he was highly recruited by Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's 9 of them in the receiver room in Ohio State.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. Marvin Harrison Jr. should go to the NFL.
100%.
100% should go to the NFL.
It'd be awesome if he stayed, but that's just stupid.
Yeah, very stupid on his part. Now, he seems like a very, very solid, whatever, kid character. He might stay. Who knows? I can't imagine why he would.
It'd be stupid if they did, but it's a lot of them talking. Like, I think Henderson said something, or Jack Sawyer or whatever.
Sawyer said he was coming back.
Said he's coming back of like, it's just talking to the guys of like, it's a bad taste to leave this way.
He said that the junior class felt like it was a bad taste. Now, that would be all of them. That would be all of the good players.
Like, they've never beaten Michigan.
No. So, I mean, I get that part of it. I really do. And again, who knows? I for some reason, I feel like Henderson should stay. I don't think
I feel like he needs to get a healthy season through.
Yeah.
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 I think he can make Henderson can make more money in college than he can in the NFL because he's a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
hey, we're going to use you for 2 years and that's your career. So if you can get something at Ohio State and if you can kind of make a name for yourself, you can make money at Ohio State for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. And I think you're right. I think he needs a good full season under his belt because he's talented.
Yeah.
Super. I mean, you can tell the difference in their run game when he doesn't play.
Especially there's got to be somebody telling him like looking at what Blake Corum did and stuff like that, just scored a bunch of touchdowns, got a bunch of NIL money. Of like, hey, the NFL is just not for running backs, man. Like you're not Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Those contracts are fucking gone.
And you see nothing in the recruiting area of running backs going to Ohio State.
No.
None.
Or anywhere, really.
No, you're right. Really,
it's like
anywhere.
running, it's just almost a dead position anymore. Yeah. Because nobody knows how to run the fucking football because we got to go out of shotgun and we got to run this spread because it's got to do this. I'm like, I feel like most running backs like that 2 to 3 step head start diving toward the line and, as opposed to standing still.
Yeah.
And you going, here's the ball. Good luck.
No, I agree. So I do feel like he should stay. I don't really feel like, I mean, personally, I don't feel like anybody on the defense is just outstanding. They should leave unless they're a senior.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Like Sawyer saying, like, I'm coming back. It's like, well, I don't feel like you were going to get drafted. So it's like,
no, I don't think you're a hot commodity.
You can call a college kid a bust, but like it was a big deal when they signed him. And it just, but that's the whole defensive line has been that way. They're just not.
Yeah.
But the defense sucks. So, but I think Denzel Burke's leaving.
Yeah.
But I think he's playing in the game though.
Yeah.
And I feel that. I mean, if you can get drafted as a corner, search clock.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're 2 years.
Because that's
3
the
years.
thing of like, you come back if you're Sawyer, you come back if you're Henderson, because you can make more money than you're going to make in the league. Marvin needs to start his clock because his second contract is like $30 million a year, unless he's a bust. But then again, like he could be. I mean, he'll make money in NIL. It's just not as much money as he's. It's more about starting the clock in the NFL because he could make $8 million next year at Ohio State. Probably could.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to make with your signing bonus and shit.
Yeah.
But the only thing else it could be is his dad going, hey, let's just see the draft order before we go making a decision. Because that's a legit thing. You get drafted by Chicago.
Yeah.
You never get, like, you'll get the second contract, but it's never going to be. You're not going to be a guy that has fucking 1,800 yards and 10 touchdowns. Because that's not Chicago. I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I can totally see him coming back for those reasons. Like, hey, let's be smart about this.
I'm not going to go to that place. Because and I feel like it would be, if it was anybody except Chicago. Because you just look at the way they've been functionally over the last 30 years of like, they've never had a quarterback that's thrown for, they've never had a fucking quarterback that's thrown for however many yards. They've never had a receiver that's went over this amount.
Like
they've never had.
You can, like Jay Cutler would have been the only one who got close to it.
Yeah.
And then you really only had like Brandon Marshall played there for a while, and then like Alshon Jeffrey played there for a while. Those are the only two, I guess, big name receivers that you can think of. And Alshon Jeffrey was only good for 2 years.
Yeah, they kind of wasted his good years because then when he got out of there, it was like
he won a Super Bowl.
But he wasn't any.
No,
he wasn't part of the offense. I mean, it's like he just wasted.
Yeah,
because even if it was he got drafted by Carolina, okay. It's Bryce Young's down there, whatever. I mean,
we can work with that.
Get something because they're throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I can't, even though I'm sure he knows Justin Fields of like, hey, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be
there.
And then also I can't be there because they're going to fire the coach after the next year because 100%.
If he gets a second year or if he gets another year, he's going to get
another. Yeah. If he's going to get this year and then because they're going to do what Chicago does, if he gets another year, they draft a quarterback, got my quarterback now, and then they ruin the next quarterback because they fire the coaching staff this year and bring him into another system and then another. Like, that's just what they do.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're up for your second contract as a wide receiver going,
who's throwing me the ball?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I get 400 yards a year and 2 touchdowns. I need $30 million. Nope.
No, not happening. Yeah.
That's about the only team that you just can't be a wide receiver for Chicago.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah. Or, I mean, New England. That's another
but
team
they're
that
going
comes
to go
up.
quarterback. They have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I get that, but I'm saying just no.
But-
Marvin Harrison could stay. Who knows?
that'd be the only thing that if he did, it would be more of his dad going, "Hey, like, let's see where the draft order falls.
Yeah,
And if it's going to look like you're going to a certain place, then no would be the answer."
Yes, I agree with you on that one. I'm trying to look up the draft order as of right now.
It's Chicago, followed by Arizona, I believe.
Yeah, Chicago, Arizona, Washington, New England, Giants, Chargers, Titans, Bears, Jets, Falcons are your top 10.
So, like, you'd end up in Arizona unless they trade out and somebody offers them a bunch of stuff to go up and get a quarterback because they're very adamant that they are good at quarterback in Arizona. So,
yeah.
that's one that's just kind of forgot about it. Like, hey, Kyler Murray's played a lot of fucking games this year and still hadn't won any.
Yeah,
like he's got, like they played like the first, like Josh Dobbs.
Yeah,
But the fact of like nobody's really talking about of like, yeah, Arizona, they haven't done anything. I mean, they beat Pittsburgh, which I don't know
yeah,
how the fuck that happens, but
yeah. Weird.
very weird. But I guess I'll go on the Ohio, because actually the bad thing is too is Ohio State are dogs in the game. They're getting 2 points.
Yeah.
And I think Ohio State probably wins by 20.
You think they win by that much?
Yeah. I think you'll see them slinging offense out there that they just hadn't ran all year.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna try to.
I mean, you
got to do something.
You see it in the pros when you get a new quarterback. In that first game, that first 2 games, that quarterback looks fantastic because nobody has any tape on him. I could see that being the same way with this guy. Nobody knows what he can do or what he can't do.
And you're going to see some of the younger receivers of like, and I'm saying like it could be kind of how that Rose Bowl was.
One of these young receivers go off like Jackson Smith and Jigba did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because none of those it wasn't like, because that was Stroud too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't like Stroud was throwing these deep passes. It was like these little 15-yard cuts.
Yeah.
That they just ran for 70 more yards.
There was there was a couple nice little drop dimes.
But a lot of them were like up the seam, caught it, just gone.
Yeah.
Because that Tate guy, I'm interested to see if he gets into the offense because he's so fucking fast.
Yeah.
I think is he the fast one on the team?
That's what they said.
Mm-hmm. Of that matters. I mean, like kind of how Jameson Williams when he went to Alabama, like it's obviously that he's not a great wide receiver, but he's fast enough.
Fast
of like,
as shit. Yeah,
he can catch a ball and he's fast. Now in the NFL level,
hadn't worked out for him.
Doesn't seem like you're great at running routes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know. They're going to win the game.
Yeah,
they're going to win the game. That's anything, but.
Then what do you got? Because we won't be together before Monday, so.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Alabama beat Michigan. Would you agree?
I agree.
And then.
Although I'm starting to, because that's all I ever hear now is everybody is picking Alabama of like, if everybody thinks that way,
I know it never goes well. I just don't believe in Texas.
Yeah, there's something about Washington to me that's just like they just fucking win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like they didn't have a chance against Oregon in either game, apparently.
No, and I really feel like Penix deserved the Heisman as well, and he's going to come out and just ball out. So I would assume that we're going to see a Washington-Alabama national championship game.
Yeah.
Now, I do not think that Michigan gets blown out. Now, we also thought that last year at TCU. And they didn't. The score didn't end up being a blowout, but still. Right. Because they freaking do, they just they know how to manage the clock very well. Going to run the football.
But
Alabama's defense hasn't been as dominant as it has been. McCarthy can't do like some of the passes he got away with against Ohio State. He's probably not getting away with them against Alabama. The ones where he's just like, on a fucking rope between two dudes, probably gets knocked down or picked or something. But him running the ball, I think, is going to be tricky for him because I don't know if Alabama's seen a quarterback who runs the ball.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's, everybody struggles a little bit with that. I have a problem because Michigan can't run the ball. Like, they're not good at running the ball.
On offense?
Yeah.
No,
because everybody kind of forgets when their number one offensive lineman broke his fucking leg.
I understand that, yeah.
That they averaged against Iowa.
Yeah, I know.
2 yards.
Yes. No, I get it.
And they didn't run well against Ohio State. Like
they ran well enough.
They ran well enough.
Uh-huh.
They didn't run great against Penn State. They you get it in your mind that there's such this juggernaut of a run game, and they're fucking not.
No, I wouldn't say juggernaut of a run game, but they do a very good job of managing the clock with their run game, and they always there's no negative plays.
Yeah,
they rarely have a negative play. So keeping on schedule with your down and distance. Huge. You're not getting in a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 against Alabama.
Right.
You're in a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, more manageable. McCarthy can complete that 5-yard pass. He's good enough to do that. So that aspect of more of the clock management running the football.
Yeah, basically just shorten the game.
Shorten the game. Don't let Milroe have his opportunity to make plays. Shorten the game. Your defense isn't awful.
Yeah.
You do have,
they have a good defense.
Good defense. It seems though when they play, they play a team who is balanced.
Yeah.
They forget about one of the sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ohio State, not good at running the ball. We're going to play coverage. Okay, that's fine. You gave up a lot of big runs against Ohio State that Ohio State didn't have in the regular season because they played the pass. Alabama's balanced. Which one are they going to try and stop? Are they going to try and stop Milroe in the run game? Or are they going to say, you know what, he's not the best passer? We'll let it go.
That's what I'm interested in because they haven't seen him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, because he is a straight, like, not great at throwing the ball, but it's something about those guys that are crazy good runners. Then they're not great passers, but they're great at throwing deep balls. And like, that's kind of what he like. He can throw a deep ball.
Yeah,
but they haven't seen a quarterback like him yet. I want to.
No, I'm interested.
I'm interested in that. Yeah. Like, because their defensive line is legit. They don't have great guys on the defensive line, but they just have a lot of really good ones. Of like, they don't get tired because there's fucking 12 of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no, and I think that'll be the fun part to watch is that cat and mouse game with it. So I mean, I think Alabama wins. I don't think it's a blowout whatsoever. And again, I could be completely wrong and be a blowout either way. But
I'm tired of hearing. I guess it's obviously Portnoy comes up in my feed a lot too. Of like, he is such, and I understand he's just working the internet.
Yes.
That's what he does. But it's just like, I just want to see, like, if Alabama just goes in and fucking cock slaps him right in the mouth of like, Alabama wins, like 42-3.
Yeah.
Of like,
yeah.
Because there's, lose a running back, can't run the ball against Iowa. I understand Iowa's defense is good.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just not. They just, their offense isn't their defense isn't good. They're just good at making you score slow. Couldn't run the ball against them. You struggled to run it at times, and then you lose your linemen. So now at this point, the last 2 games that we've seen, they're not great at running the ball. They're also not good at throwing the ball. Like, Michigan's offense is kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, in the true aspects of what an offense is, yes.
Like, if they don't bust off runs, which, I mean, they have running backs that can break it.
Yeah.
But if you tackle well, and, because he's still yet to prove that he can stand back there and throw a fucking pass.
Yeah, he's not.
He is not
he's
a great.
Not good at pocket passer. It's it's that off schedule play.
Yeah.
If he gets popped out and then
that's the of like and you kind of sit back and look at it of like they're a really good
team. Yeah,
but they're not really great at anything.
No.
Of like they just kind of hey, you just kind of look up and like, holy fuck, it's already the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yeah,
now,
again,
you didn't do that in the Ohio State game because they had to have a fucking 8 minutes of commercials between every fucking play, so it took 4 hours.
No, they are a very good team. They do what they do well. They shorten the game. They keep on schedule. Their defense is good enough to get stopped. But again, when a guy like Kirby Smart compares Milroe to fucking Tim Tebow, he's a good player.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even if he's not Tim Tebow, still fucking good player to get that comparison at some point in time.
So I can't remember, I was hearing it too. It's like as far as Michigan, because that was their big thing is obviously explosive plays in college football is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
They have, it is very like plays over 20 yards.
They don't have
like it just doesn't happen.
No, they don't have it. No, and you could see that all year. They didn't have that.
There's just something. I think last year's team was better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more
well equipped to win a game like this than this year's team. It just, I don't know why. And you got mostly the same players out there. Like it just seemed like there was more of a pop that could happen.
Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with that. Yeah, and then just
Then again, we haven't seen Jim Harbaugh coach in a while. So.
Yeah, but the Texas, I just don't believe in Texas's defense can keep up with Washington's offense. Is the bottom line there. And if Washington's defense played as well as they did against Oregon, they'll struggle. Texas will struggle.
I like watching. Like I would prefer that Washington won the whole thing. That's kind of what I'd like to see. That because I just Now would it be, since that happens post January 1st? Is that a Big Ten title?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that was funny. Somebody put on there. It's like 3 of the 4 people for Heisman are Big Ten. They're Big Ten people. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole playoff is Big Ten SEC.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You're like, well, that's only going to be 2 conferences made it. Technically, it's 2 conferences. Hey, the team that Washington had to beat to get in is also a team coming to the Big Ten.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the weird things, I don't know why I have this feeling, one of the weird things you're going to see with Texas, I think you're going to see Quinn Ewers get dinged up and have to come out of the game.
I was
and
just going to
see
say
Arch
that.
Manning.
I was just going to say, it wasn't going to say dinged up. I was going to say benched.
Oh, that he just plays that poorly?
He plays that poorly. Like, I could very well see it that Washington gets off to like a 21-zip start.
Could.
That fat because they have big playability. That receiver's good.
Yeah.
Penix likes to throw the ball deep. That, he throws a pick or 2. They're not just put him in, see what he got. I could see it. Will it happen? Probably not, because it's not a bowl game. It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
But still.
It's one of those things because he's been dinged up he's missed multiple games every year he's played.
Yeah.
And the last time we seen Texas in a national championship game, he got fucking hurt on the first play. I mean, fucking dislocated his shoulder or whatever. And that being the thing of like, hey, the calendar is so messed up college football that the backup quarterback had to fucking leave.
Mm-hmm.
So if guy gets dinged up and
Arch
you got to put in true freshman, and then he's going to get shit on because he's not going to win that game. He's not good enough. He's fucking 18 years old.
Yeah.
But I think like, is he a bust?
Imagine if he did.
Oh my God.
Imagine if he did, though.
And like Quinn Ewers said, I'm already coming back.
Yeah.
But imagine
if he gets dinged up, Arch Manning comes in and he comes in and wins that game. Imagine
oh my
that.
God.
Just imagine that. It'd be incredible.
It'd be the greatest thing ever happened to college football.
It'd be up there. It would be absolutely incredible if he came in and won that game.
I kind of want it to happen now, even though I want Washington to win.
Yeah. I mean,
because I want I have no feelings on Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Because we'll find out when we find out.
Uh-huh.
But the fact that he's not, like, the amount of, like, he gets a lot of hate online just for, like, it's just your name. You're not very fucking good. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure he's probably pretty good.
They wouldn't just have him there if he...
You don't bring a Manning to Texas just because last name's Manning.
If he sucked, he would be Ole Miss's or...
Yeah.
Tennessee's backup quarterback right now, or third-string quarterback, if he sucked.
But it's like the shit of, like, well, couldn't he win the starting job? It's like, well, Quinn Ewers pretty fucking good. I mean, he was the number 1 quarterback too.
Yeah.
But if he comes in, I'll say this. I want Washington to win. I want Washington to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if Ewers goes down and Arch Manning comes in, I want Texas to win it all.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Only if Quinn can't play the whole time. Like if Arch comes in and just wins those games.
Dude, that would be so. That is incredible situation. Ewers gets dinged up. Manning comes in, wins playoff game. Ewers is only dinged up for that game. What the fuck do you do?
Yeah. Well, and here,
what do you do?
Now it'd be different. Like gets dinged up, and then like if Arch comes in, goes 25 of 28 for 330 yards and 5 touchdowns. Then but it'd be a tip. It'd really be a tough decision if it was like he threw 3 touchdowns, but he was like 10 for 15 for 70 yards.
Yeah,
and like we just kind of ran down there.
Yeah.
Hey, he threw for 3. It's like, yeah, but he didn't really win the game. We kind of schemed it in there. Like if he would rip off a 300-yard through, no picks, of like, oh, fuck.
Probably should start him. But no, I'm with you. Just imagine that though. Like he's dinged up for that game, gets to come back to play a national championship game.
Because it would be one of those ones of like it's twice that he's hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
So if it's a shoulder and an ankle, you could easily just go, hey man, he's not ready.
Yeah.
Well, no, coach, I'm good. It's like, it doesn't seem he's not. But we're gonna
say this.
Maybe transfer. Back to Ohio State.
Yeah. It would be super crazy if that happened.
Because I couldn't imagine what would happen at ESPN if that happened.
Oh.
They would be jerking off on the counter at sports. Like Scott Van Pelt would be covered in semen.
Yeah, he looks like a dick anyway.
Yeah. Manning?
Yeah. Do you remember those mean tweets? It was Ohio State and Oregon's national championship game. They did like the mean tweets with the ESPN.
Oh, I don't.
And the Scott Van Pelt, he says, who the hell is Scott Van Pelt look like a penis? Somebody get this penis man off my TV. Every time I see him, I only think of that tweet.
It's like I always liked Scott Van Pelt, but it's like like it was your decision to be on a show that starts at midnight.
Yeah.
Of like I haven't seen Scott Van Pelt in fucking years. So I'm like, what do you?
I see him on the commercials at Monday Night Football. That's it.
That's like,
it.
Well,
SVP after the game
when he did his radio show. Yeah. I liked his radio show.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I had the opportunity, and this was the only job I would do it for. To be on at midnight?
Yeah.
Maybe it's after the last game is when you do your Sports Center of like
that's not good.
It's a terrible fucking life. Your fucking dream job is third shift at ESPN.
I know.
What the fuck?
You're not even on radio. You're not even on trucker radio.
No. How many viewers is that fucking thing getting? Nothing. Fucking loser.
Maybe West Coast.
Maybe.
Watching at 9.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go Washington wins, Alabama wins.
It's hard not to pick fucking Alabama.
Yeah. I think Alabama wins it all because obviously we'll be able to pick the championship game. But you got to do one before.
Yep.
So I go Alabama beats Michigan 27-15.
We'll score.
Washington beats Texas 48-37.
Okay. All right. Bama beats Michigan. 27-17. And then Washington beats Texas. Oh, let's see. Let's go 38. 21.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I think it would be a funny thing because this being the last year of the 4-way is that and everybody's so excited because it's quality fucking game. Mm-hmm. If they both just ended in fucking ass beatings.
Yeah.
It's like Alabama won 52-3 and Washington beat Texas 65-7.
Glad we changed it up.
Yeah, glad we're going to 12 teams next year.
Yeah, no, that'd be funny.
Yeah. That's all I kind of got. It's been a long show.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here.
WideSide.